Welcome back to the show. My guests today are Jacqueline and Dave from BC Hydro. They're spokespeople. You know their faces, but you don't know their stories.
Top 5 things for your emergency kit. Water, non-perishable food, and a can opener.
Flashlight, batteries, first aid kit.
And a power bank to charge your phone.
Welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Excited to be here.
I think what most people don't know is that you guys are not actors. When I first saw you on my TV, I was like, okay, they've hired these actors. I've never seen these actors before. That's not the case.
Not at all. We've both been at the company for a long time now, so we're just regular employees.
Yeah.
We're actually flattered that you thought we were professionals. I thought the quality of the acting might give away that we're new at this, but no,
Yeah.
we're real BC Hydro employees.
Yeah, so you started in this role at BC Hydro in 2018.
That's right.
What were you doing before that?
I've been at the company for 20 plus years. So I started in a group called Community Outreach. I saw an ad looking for people to come and talk to BC Hydro customers at community events about power smart and saving energy. And I just had my communications degree. I didn't want to move back into my parents' basement. And I said, I can do this. I can talk to people. And I just never left.
Awesome. And then you ended up talking into camera.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Similar story over here, I think. Yeah.
How did you start it? with
Yeah,
Hydro?
for me, we actually got into Hydro in the same role, not at the same time. But I've told Dave this story. When I graduated university, I did my bachelor's in sciences. So at the time I was looking for work and there wasn't really anything in my field that was popping up or that was coming up. And then I saw the community outreach job post. And I looked at it and I was like, okay, this is more of a personality match than an educational one.
Oh.
And I thought, let's just go for it. Let's see where it leads me. And if it works out, then perhaps once I'm in the organization, I can find my way back to sciences or the environmental sector. So I got into communications and some years passed and I was having fun. So I went back to school for communications and then here we are.
Awesome.
And I never left.
Cool. And you guys travel all around the province. Like what is one of the best places you've been to?
We've been kind of all over the place and I have to credit this job with the ability of improving my BC geography.
Yeah.
Because before it, I probably wasn't great. We've been all over. We've been to Prince Rupert, Port Hardy, Wells, BC, Campbell River. There like a million more places, Revelstoke, Hudson's Hope. But one of my favorites actually has to be Port Hardy. A cute little coastal town. We had a really good time there. My favorite story from Port Hardy is actually we were walking down the street. We were going to go get dinner, and this big truck comes by. And generally, our interactions with the public are pretty positive.
Yeah.
Here and there's some tougher conversations that we have.
Sure.
And this huge truck with this big, strong-looking dude was driving by, and we were walking, and he comes barreling up the road, and then his window comes down hastily, and Dave and I kind of braced ourselves for like, oh my gosh, is he going to be mad at us? Is he going to dislike us? And he puts his window down and he sticks his arm out the window and goes, you guys, I love you. And
we just exhaled. Yeah.
And breathed a sigh of relief. But then it was just like such a great interaction. It was just like Port Hardy was full of great people, and that was just kind of one example of it. And it's always like everywhere we go, the places are always fun, but we always meet really interesting people.
That's the same with me.
Yeah.
Like we do similar jobs, I think, just in that I go all around the province. I've been to Port Hardy. I had a similar experience there where I was there on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
I was in a store. A kid came up to me and randomly gave me a Valentine's Day card. And I was like, who's this? I don't work here. And they were like, no, this is just for you. We're
They're
walking
just
around
nice,
town.
right?
Yeah, it's a great place.
Yeah.
What is your favorite part of the job aside from that? Like, it's a lot of work. I've been to Hydro's office, which is not far from the studio. You guys are not just smiling on camera all the time. What are the other parts of your job that you enjoy?
Yeah, well, I think, like you said, we have a similar job in that we get to check out all kinds of different stuff all the time. So one minute we'll be kind of checking out the inner workings of one of our dams or generating facilities. The next day, we're at a small business checking out a solar array that they've installed. But I think for both of us, there's like BC Hydro, having been there for a long time, it's a big company. There's so much cool and innovative work that's happening there. We get to kind of try and help tell those stories. And for me, it's really satisfying to do that. Once you've been there a while, you sort of see all the ways that BC Hydro is kind of embedded in these communities or across the province. And it's nice to feel like we can contribute to that in some small way. We're not technical employees or electricians or power line technicians, but we can help kind of get those stories out there and get support for the people that are doing that kind of work within the company. So I love that part of the job.
Awesome.
For sure. Yeah, it's really nice talking to people that really have a passion and a need and a want to kind of electrify or have cleaner and greener operations or organizations. And we're lucky that we get to kind of tell those stories and do exciting things and see the latest and greatest in clean energy technology and you know, fly in an electric plane or go on an electric tugboat or visit a greenhouse that's able to produce fruits and veggies throughout the winter for the province. So we're super fortunate. We have a lot of cool work days and yeah, it's been really interesting in this role.
It sounds like a super satisfying and
totally
compelling job to get into. Are there any job openings right now with you guys?
We'll let you know if you want to send a CV over. We're happy to take a look. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, my dad, he was an electrician, you know, so I know a thing or two. But
Yeah.
a thing or two. What is something that you guys think people don't understand about electricity in British Columbia? Maybe a question you get all the time.
We get so many questions ranging from like really complex stuff to kind of things that you think maybe people would know, like even in terms of how we make electricity in BC and how fortunate we are to have kind of this clean energy advantage based on our geography and where we are in the world. So we try to answer as many of those questions as we can. I think that's one thing that I'm always surprised. A lot of people don't know how much of our electricity that we generate is clean and where it comes from. So we try and kind of spread the word on that.
Yeah, like the name itself, BC Hydro, I think a lot of people forget, like that means it comes from water. Hydroelectricity means that it's made from water that is moving and is making this electricity.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining me and sharing your stories with our viewers. We'll see you on social media. We'll see you on TV, on commercials.
Sounds
We'll watch
good.
for you on the road. Thanks for having us.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. When we come back, Nina is going to be at the Museum of Vancouver talking to some people about neon lights. Electricity touches everything, including our lights, our neon lights.